let's talk about, so you took all of these strategies that you were applying to the race car drivers, right? And that's how you guys formulated the app? Or were you using the app on the race car drivers?
So with Formula Medicine, they have their own really robust
Okay,
training methods.
got it.
And so we saw like the excellence of what they do with their, elite level trainers. We
Yes.
had been developing some other training methods ourselves too, with some of our other applications. And we kind of looked at what was going on in these different scenarios, pulled the best of the best from what
Mhm.
we could to make sense in a mobile device, something that someone could do this training at home by themselves, and created those types of experiences. If you get
Mhm.
the chance to, work with coaches as excellent as the Formula Medicine
Mhm.
staff, that is a huge benefit. But not all of us have access to that. So what's the next best thing? The next best thing is to take best practices from all these different applications, all the research we've seen, and package it into an experience people can have, wherever they go.
Got it. So you guys had a lot of background, or you started down this track of trying to create these exercises or these strategies, and then you just kind of collaborated or got the best of the best from the race car drivers and then combined it into your app, right?
Yeah, and it hasn't stopped. Like we're still working with different coaches, different breathing
Yes.
experts, different meditation teachers, understanding what are the things that people are trying to solve for. Like we have
Mhm.
specific programs that help people fall asleep quickly, deal with
Mhm.
stress from work, wind down after a tough day, start their day with the right types of intention. So it's really about gearing all this training towards the things that matter most to people. That's the
Got it.
mission.
Got it. That is awesome. And I know that you guys will uncover a lot more great resources and it'll just progress and progress as, time kind of goes on, right? So let's talk about, you talked about these strategies, right? And we know that it will have, anecdotally, it has a positive effect on all of us because we feel improvements whenever we do things like breathing exercises, meditation. But let's talk about that neuroplasticity component. So bringing it back there, well, what is your team working on with that? And what's the big message, I guess, for someone that's like, what is
Yeah.
neuroplasticity? What's the
Yeah.
big message there? And how do these really help your brain to adapt in that positive way?
Right. Right. You are in the driver's seat.
Huh.
That is the big message. You are in control of your brain and your life.
Mhm.
Everything that you do, that you interact with, that you learn, that you practice, that becomes a habit, it all changes your body, your mind. It changes your brain. Your whole system as a human is constantly changing based on all the experiences that you have, even the thinking that we do. If we are habitually thinking or believing something, it's going to be more likely that we'll continue to believe that thing. One
Mhm.
of the rules of I'm going to get a little out there. One of the rules of the universe is momentum.
Uh-huh.
Momentum rules. So as a similar way that in the physical world, momentum kind of carries things on, the momentum of your habits and your practices
Mhm.
matters a lot. I think that people might be able to relate to this. If you're not working out, you make up excuses for not working out. The second that you can just do one freaking push up or you just
Yes.
get one good workout and you go, you know what? I kind of want to do that again tomorrow, or I
Yeah.
kind of want to do that again, even if it's just a little bit, but that
Uh-huh.
momentum gets things going. So I think an easy way to understand this neuroplasticity business is your habits are reflected in your brain,
Mhm.
and you can literally change your brain, the structure and function of your brain, by continuously practicing new things or things that support the things that you want. But a momentum goes in the other way. Just like it's hard to work out if you're not working out, if you're practicing silly beliefs or beliefs that aren't so helpful, which we all
Mhm.
do that. They're
Uh-huh.
more likely to stay there too. But the zoom out with us. If you zoom out with us, the big picture is you're in control. You get to make those decisions. And what Focus Calm does is empower you to make the right types of decisions that are going to help you achieve your goals, are going to help you be more focused, are going to help you be more calm. And like
Mhm.
you're mentioning, in a way that can be really fun. It can be gamified. And that's what we want people to do, to enjoy this process as much as possible and practice the things that are going to get them what they want.
Yes, that's well explained. And I like for anybody that's listening that this might be new to you, right? Neuroplasticity is with pretty much anything, every aspect of your life. Like you said, you're the driver, you're in control of how you're going to adapt to these stressors or external influences on you, right? I do want to chime in a little bit. So, especially with rehabilitation, which is kind of my area of expertise. we're finding now that there's so much more than just getting physical strength back. And it's even beyond mental, confidence and things like that. It's like you said, depending how you're training, what kind of confidence you have on if you had surgery or if you had an injury, all of those things and how you practice that's going to determine like, actually, can you execute the motor skills like how you want to perform? Or is it going to actually find like an alternative pathway, which you said it might be okay, but it's not the most efficient, kind of throwing that word again, efficient. Yeah. And because of that, you're leaking performance, or you might be more susceptible to injuries or other injuries, right? So that neuroplasticity component, it's very important, I think, to understand how we're training or conditioning our brain with anything that you're trying to do. It doesn't matter if it's sports, if it's musical talents, if it's just trying to be more focused and calm at work, right? All of these types of things, they are going to help us determine how we're going to handle or cope with certain stressors that we go through our day, right? Do you have anything to add to that?
I think that was brilliant. That was brilliant, Andrew. One of the analogies is your body responds to working out, right? Like any amount of kind of physical exercise, your body will respond to it.
Yes.
And the same thing is true for your mental workouts or your mental fitness or your mental wellness. Any amount of this practice, you're going to respond to it, good or bad. Mm-hmm. Luckily, the human body is super resilient. So if you don't work out for a while, that's not great, but you're still going to be okay. And you still have the opportunity to pick those skills back up again. And same thing for our mental health and wellness, not doing practices and kind of just, sitting on the quote unquote couch, being a couch potato of your mental fitness or mental wellness probably isn't the best. But the great thing is you always have the opportunity to get up and start doing those mental fitness or that your physical fitness, really whatever. And that's really what I want to impart on people is like, you can do this. You can start at any time. And as you do it, you will always respond. Your mind will always respond to these types of practices in a beneficial way, similar to, I think, the clients that you work with. The body responds when you give it a physical stimulus, and your mind responds when you give it the right type of stimulus too.